Thank you for joining us for the founder interview series hosted by Indian startups. Here we invite founders and CEOs for sharing their entrepreneurial experiences, their idea, development of their venture, and factors that help make it a success. We have with us today Sheebaa Ali, founder of ITIS Consulting. Sheebaa's 28 plus years of working journey has been full of great work experiences and learning. She has worked with some of the renowned organizations like Tech Mahindra, Microland, vMoksha, and Hexaware. Sheba has expertise in business development, transformation, digitization, automation of business functions, project and program management, delivery management, resource management, and quality management. We welcome Sheba for today's interview. Hi,
Thank,
Sheba. Thank you for being with us today. Just to start on a lighter note, why don't you tell us about your great venture that you're building in the consulting domain?
um, okay, so hi, thank you, Siddharth, for such a lovely introduction. Uh, so, in fact, I I'll say that I am a budding entrepreneur because all these 28 plus years of experience, I have been a professional working for the large organizations, multinationals. So it was way back in uh, I would say, beginning of 2021 when everybody was saying that we were hit by pandemic, and I was getting edgy sitting at just not doing anything because the startup I had worked with some 6 7 startups in my career, building them from scratch and taking them off. So, in fact, what happened was this particular venture I was working with. So, they took a back seat, or they were playing low to expand during the pandemic when the lockdown started. So at that time, I was just talking to my husband, and we were like, he was of the opinion I should get back to work, but I was like, okay, let me try it out. I don't have anybody in my family who has been an entrepreneur. So I I started working, and I did some market research and all, spoke to friends and family, and found that there has been a gap between the business development function and the IT space.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm,
like, the business development professionals, they lack IT knowledge, and vice versa. So, since I had in these past 28 plus years, I had worked with as a business development professional also, and then I moved to IT. So that's when I realized that it'll be a good idea to do something to use my expertise and my knowledge in terms of helping the IT folks to
mm-hmm.
expand their business, grow their business. And one of
Got it.
so that was, I would say, the inception of my journey. The
Mm-hmm.
gap gave me an opportunity, and that was the starting point.
Wow, superb, superb. Uh, it's pretty evident that you noticed a gap and you went out there to fill the gap, and probably that was the business opportunity that you were looking at. Shiba, why don't you tell us also, how did you validate this idea? You've identified a gap right now, and you have the intent to fill the gap, right? But how do you validate this idea in terms of, okay, is this something that I can monetize on? Is this really a business, right? Because I think a lot of entrepreneurs might have many ideas, right? But how do you validate it? Is it really a business?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting question. So, in fact, what happened was that, in fact, I am a voracious reader myself. So, you can see my books in the background.
Right.
So, in fact, I kept myself up to date with what's happening in the market and what's working, what's not working. Also, I had like I have good number of connects. Uh, so with my network, And so with my network, I started venturing. So initially, I would say my offering was pretty wide. So I wanted to venture into business development solution as a service. So providing
Hmm.
the end-to-end business development. And I vetted this idea with a couple of friends who who are into the stream or who understands the market, and they quite liked it. They appreciated me, and they pushed me that yes, it's worth trying. I hope I
Right.
answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that's the most appropriate approach, right? Where you can go out and seek validation from your immediate network, right? And probably the people who are in that specific domain are the right people to help you with the validation phase itself, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Right.
that is
Got it.
true. And definitely, it requires for anybody, especially in sales and marketing or
Hmm.
for an entrepreneur to
Hmm.
start, to have a very strong network.
Mm.
So
Right.
it was, I would say, sometime in August, uh, a friend of mine who is with a networking company. So she pulled me into this
Mm.
organization, and she made me a member there, and that that kicked off, I would say. So in fact, it was my scope of an entrepreneur, like for I it is consultancy, was fairly large. So that gave me a direction. And then when you are on such platforms, it gives you an opportunity to showcase your credibility or showcase uh, your actual content, what you have, and your capability.
Mm.
So that gave me, this particular platform gave me an opportunity to showcase myself. And also it provided, it helped in terms of uh,
Mm.
streamlining my offerings, my services.
Got it. Got it. I think being at the right place at the right time, right? I think that might just help. And I think that was the same thing in your case where you were at the right place at the right time, and then you connected with a certain set of people, and then that just helped you kick off this venture. So Sheba, how big is your venture right now? How many people have you employed? Are you the only person who's working and doing all the daily aspects of it? How do you go about it?
Okay, so Siddharth, it is, you can't be, you as an entrepreneur, you cannot be successful for long as a solo entrepreneur. Okay, you need to collaborate with people.
Hmm.
Okay, and more so 2021 is a year for collaboration. So you synergize your offerings, you bring in the best of people. So it is consultancy also. My thought of starting it as consultancy is basically to build a consortium of people, of professionals, like-minded,
Hmm.
who are professionally there, and who can complement each other. So I have my business associates who have been supporting me. So we are a fairly large group. Also, we have a team of professionals with us who help. So our target audience is basically uh, startups and mid-sized
Hmm.
companies who cannot afford, I would say, to have a full-time business development person on
Hmm.
board.
So they
So
outsource it to you guys, I would say,
yes,
right?
yes. So what we do is we get their business, uh, take care of their business development function. We take care of their marketing
Hmm.
and also their sales part of it. So we generate
Wow.
leads for them. We help them. So
I think
it
that's the core
basically
part
comes
of their
with
business,
sales.
right? Where
Yeah.
you're advocating their products or services, right? And
Absolutely.
getting them leads and converting them, right?
Yeah. And since
What?
we have a mix of experience, we are multi channel. So
Ah.
We are we are into
Right.
on social media. We are doing our PR for them. We are
Mm-hmm.
also helping them in terms of looking at different markets and stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
as I told you earlier, so we provide business development solution as a service right from seeding stage to expansion, and I don't want to say it, but yes, exit also.
Right.
So either
So,
a person, an entrepreneur or a business person can avail a particular our services in a particular stage
mhm,
or throughout to the entire journey
right.
based on their requirement.
Got it. Shiva, as you've already, employed these business associates and you have a team which is fairly large in number, as you mentioned. Why don't you share with us what do you look for in a potential sort of employee or a potential hire, right? Because it's very difficult as entrepreneurs to identify whether this person's vision matches with the venture that we are building and things like that. So, what is that few qualities that you look for in a potential employee or a hire?
Yes. So, in fact, fantastic question, and it is. This is something what I believe in, that you can make a person work provided the person is willing to work. If the fire in the belly is there, yes, the person is going to be successful and you'll grow with it. So even when
Hmm.
I have been working with multinationals, what I look for is definitely the basic is that the person, HR normally forwards us the profile of people who
Mhm.
are suitable, who have the right qualification to do the job.
Skill
So
sets, qualifications.
absolutely. But the biggest thing is the attitude.
Hmm.
I think when I started my managerial journey, I used to think that, oh, with mentoring and all, you can change the attitude of a person. But in real world, this doesn't happen, unfortunately. So for me, the most important thing is the attitude of a person. So I focus on an employee's attitude, whether they have the zeal and the enthusiasm to work, to come back to work every morning. So,
Hmm.
and also continuous learning is very important. So I look for these two things are my primary source to basically primary skill I focus maximum on.
Got it. I think this would help you sort of filter the right candidates, right? And
Absolutely.
then probably take a more easy decision, right? Shiva, as we're talking about employees, early stage ventures, and things on that end, I'm always curious to understand how do you establish a culture in an early stage company that nurtures, right? Because when we look at all these large MNCs, they have their certain set of cultures, right? So what steps as an entrepreneur that you've taken to establish, a certain set of cultures in your venture from the initial days itself? If you can throw some light on that.
So that see the thing is, I believe in leading by practice. So if I am showing the right values, integrity, trust, and also I'm providing an opportunity to my people to grow. If I'm showing the right leadership skills, automatically my team will, that transparency helps. So basically they
Mhm.
also grow with me. And that confidence that, see, at the end of the day, we all are human beings.
True,
Okay,
very true.
so if the way we treat our people with respect, we build that culture. So the culture of mutual respect is very, very important, I feel.
Hmm. I think it's more of give and take is what you're
So
trying to mention,
absolutely,
right? To get, you got to give, and
absolutely,
vice
you have to
versa,
give first. That's
right?
when the trust and the relationship build.
Right, got it. So Shiva, as you've already had this, bags of corporate work experience, and now you are on your own entrepreneurial journey as well. So how do you maintain a work-life balance, right? Because for new entrepreneurs today, that's the most difficult thing, right? Whether to focus more on work or on life, and how's that balance sort of striving?
See,
How do you do it?
I would say work-life balance is by choice.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
So earlier
right.
a lot of people have been talking about it. So even when I was working for 12 to 15 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, see, the thing is you have to prioritize. And as when I was working, I was getting weekends off and things like that. But as an
Right.
entrepreneur, it requires a lot of passion.
Mm.
So, passion to grow, passion to give back to the community. So one of my reason why I started this consortium was basically to provide opportunities to young boys and girls, especially the girls who have the education, but either they were not able to come out of their homes, or these
Mm.
ladies had a restriction that they they have to manage their home and also work, get money, like financially
Right.
they had to earn to look
Mm-hmm.
after their needs. So I that was my starting point in the sense of taking people on board. So my
Got
first
it.
choice are those young
I
ladies.
I think the intent itself, right? I think that is the most wonderful aspect that you're talking about, and your intent to actually be able to provide and sort of help the people who have the potential but just lack the sort of resources to push themselves out there, right? And I think that's the point that you're talking about, correct?
Yes, yes. So absolutely, you summed it very well. So yes, so basically, I believe in that
Mm-hmm.
you have to give, you have to share what you have, whether it is your finances or your education, your knowledge, and all. So with giving, it grows.
Mm. Got it.
So
Got it. With giving it growth, right? Right.
yeah, so I enjoy doing that.
Right. So Shiva, I was actually talking to a very recently to a founder, and he's in the fintech B2B space, and he was telling me about this problem that he faced was getting the first customer. But once he got the first set of customers, it was easy for him to approach other customers based on the goodwill of getting the first customer itself, right? So,
Right.
what's your experience been like? How did you acquire your first client, and how many clients are you working with presently? And what's the journey that we talk about, which is going from 0 to 1, right? What's your experience been like, Shiba?
You'll be surprised, Siddharth. I have I've not gone out to get my first client. My
Wow.
first,
Okay.
my first client came to me.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So my first client was that he called me. It was just one on one we were having, and I said that. So basically, as a technical person, I am a
Hmm.
CRM and ERP consultant.
Okay.
So and also business development size. My area of specialization is selling.
Hmm.
So I provide solution selling to my clients.
Hmm.
So, in fact, I was just talking to this gentleman, and he just one fine day I got a call from him, and he said that, Chiba, you mentioned that you do solution selling and you can generate lead for me and all. I said, yeah, I have been doing it. I've been into education business,
Hmm.
so I do understand that. So he was like, can you do that for me? I conduct webinars and stuff. And so I said, okay, fine, I can do it for you. So, in fact, uh, frankly, since he was my first uh, client, I
Hmm.
was like, I'll do it, but I will not charge you
On a pro bono basis, sort of
on a
a
pro bono
thing.
basis. So he was very uncomfortable. He said, this is not going to work. I said, okay, let me try it out for a month and then we'll figure it out.
Hmm.
So that was, I did it. So within 2 weeks, his business shot up 30%.
Wow.
So
That's
he
quite
was
an
like,
increment.
he became my brand ambassador.
Ah.
So till date, like I have around 4 customers. So I don't
Hmm.
believe in expanding too fast where I lose touch with my customers, though
Right.
we have a team. But yes, I need to have that
Hmm.
personal connect. Okay.
Hmm.
So what I So this first client of mine is my, I would say, lucky mascot. And he is my brand ambassador. So he has been
Hmm.
sharing my number, and I've been getting leads from people. So in
Right.
fact, there is, and because of pandemic, we
Hmm.
are not so outgoing. So in fact,
Right.
I think when you do your job right, whatever
Hmm.
you're doing, be a Michelangelo in that. If you're doing it with passion, expertise, I would say, quality comes in, and
Got.
that is like a magnet. It attracts,
Right. I
and
think
you
I
have
think
to
what
form your
what
niche.
you're saying is so interesting, right? Because you were probably providing, generating lead services to the client, to your first client itself. And what eventually happened that you did your work in such a sort of better way that it incremented his sort of lead generation capability by 30%. And he sort of started generating leads for you in turn, right? And that is, I think, the beauty of give and take, what we were
Absolutely.
probably talking about, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Right. Got it. So Sheebaa, what's your notion about the funding scene in the startup ecosystem, right? Right here in India. You're based out of Bangalore, right over there in the startup capital as they call it, right? Have you raised some funds? Have you connected with investors? Are you bootstrapped? What's your experience been like, if in case you've connected with some major VCs or angel investors? As an entrepreneur, from an entrepreneur's perspective, what's your experience been like?
Uh, See, as I said, my whole objective was that I want to do something and give it back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was giving opportunity to people who need it but don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off with my self funding, because
Got it.
again, if so, in fact, I do have investors with me. I do have funding angels with me, but
Mhm.
right now, see, you have to take your company to a certain level to ask for funding.
Very
Just
true.
by investing somebody else's money without testing the waters
Hmm.
is not right, for as per me.
Very true.
So
Right.
I do have people with me, and in fact, other businesses come to me to help them find funding. So
Oh.
as part of the seeding, that's also one of the things we do. So
Oh. Okay.
that's part of our journey. So
That's very interesting.
we connect if somebody is looking for funding. So we do help them have the deck with us, or whatever pitch that has to be
Mhm.
made, and we connect them with the investors.
Got it. Got it. I think what you're saying is so appropriate because without validating your idea and without gaining some traction, it's absurd to go out there and seek funding, right? And
Yeah,
once you have all of that, then probably, funding would seek you rather than you seeking for funding, right?
absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Got
So,
it.
and normally funding comes when they see your management team, I would say, your
Hmm.
capabilities. So if you have the right people with you, the right management team who can kickstart and take it along. So, as I
Right.
said, we are in different stages as a business consultant. So, we do business process consulting. So, what we do is, like in seeding certain set of business, we provide
Hmm.
support. Then, during startup phase, we support to grow their business. Then, in
Wow.
growth phase, see, once you are out of the startup, you've got your first client and you're
Hmm.
seeing things moving. Then, for
Hmm.
growth, you have to have a different strategy and you have to move forward.
100%.
You can't be in the startup phase all throughout. If you
Right.
So it is like growth phases, you need acute like growth, very steep,
Right.
exponential. So, and then when you are in maturity phase, you need a different
Hmm.
mindset. So one is, okay, life
Hmm.
is established, nice cushiony job, but we tell our clients that no, you can't be in this. You have to think of expanding.
Hmm.
Expansion in the same area, or
Right.
please start before the decline comes. Please If you're thinking of,
Hmm.
if your business goal is to sell your company, go ahead, we'll help you sell it. Or if you want to be in this particular stream, then
Hmm.
you have to ensure that you expand and you
Right.
diversify.
I think with what you're saying, it makes so much sense, right? Because even though you become more comfortable with what you're building and what you're selling, being comfortable might lead to, being obsolete as well. So I
Absolutely.
think that might be the right time to actually buckle up your,
Absolutely.
socks, and then accelerate, right? And maybe in the same streamline or maybe in a different line, right? It's all
Yes,
about the mindset, right? And
absolutely.
also with what you're saying, I think more than a consulting sort of firm, you're probably a remote incubator in yourself, right? Where you can help startups from a very initial stage, maybe from the idea stage itself, and then help them grow and become a mature company, and possibly see a lucrative exit as well, right?
Uh, yes, but that's too heavy a word for me to
Okay.
say that
Okay.
being an incubator. So yes,
Right.
I help. So in fact, I if I come across somebody, I do,
Mhm.
since I'm an Indian startup member also. So I
Mhm.
channelize them to this venture. That why don't you join this forum?
Superb.
It's a fantastic forum to connect and to
100%.
see. It is like when you're with like-minded people,
Mhm.
your energy levels are different. You tend to think differently,
Hmm.
in the sense
Right.
you become more alert, you know what's happening, your awareness improves. So it is like if you are in a fleet of swans, you become a swan. So
Right.
that's what I do.
Got it. Got it. Shiba, I understand that your venture is pretty recent in that case, right? But but when you look back in hindsight, right, what is that one advice that you could give to yourself when you started, right? And you would say to yourself that if I would have gotten that advice, I think something would have been different, right? So when you just look back in hindsight, what is that one advice that you would give to yourself as an entrepreneur?
See, I would rather give two.
Okay, sure, sure.
So first is, um, what has motivated me
Hmm.
is basically there's no substitute for hard work. That's one.
Very true. Very true.
And second is, use your failures as learning
Hmm.
instead
Stepping
of
stones to
being
success, maybe.
demotivated.
Hmm.
So I would like to narrate. I know we have a diverse audience, but I'll try to translate it. There's
Sure.
a there's a couplet which says, गिरते हैं शह सवारी मैदान जंग में, वो
Hmm.
तिफल क्या गिरेंगे जो घुटनों के बल चले.
Okay.
Okay, now let me try translating it. So
Sure.
it is, the warriors
Hmm.
are the ones who fall. It is not the people who are walking on their knees, they don't fall.
Hmm.
So, people, if you are in the world, if you are facing in the world, it is something that, okay, you fall, fine, brush up,
Mm.
get up, walk again,
Right.
learn
The
from
not
it.
giving up attitude. Yeah.
No, you can't give up.
Mm.
So the day we give up, we are, I would say, intellectually, emotionally dead.
Right.
So
Got it. I think that's wonderful, and thank you for translating. Right. I'm sure a lot of people would have understood it in a more sort of streamlined way. Right. As we're talking about failures and successes, and using the failing part to actually succeed in life. What is your notion about mentorship, Shiba? I mean, I've seen a lot of people, seeking mentorship when they face difficulties, but we should also seek mentorship when we might be at the right mindset in that case, right? So what's your notion about the mentorship scene in the ecosystem itself? Do you have any mentors? Have you mentored anybody in that case? And what is your notion about the same?
okay, so see, we are in a country where we have Dronacharya, who's been an epic mentor.
Right.
Okay, we have different this thing. So I am a very strong believer of mentorship. So in
Mhm.
fact, I started my career in 1992. So it's like
Okay.
almost 29 years. At that time, there was, okay, we used to go back to our teachers, but they were more, I would say, academic in their approach. And
Mm-hmm.
we never had, at that time, we never had the Google, Master Google or something who could give us
Right.
the answers to most of the things. So
Hmm.
at that time, we learned by trial and error. Okay, I personally, like, I'm a town planner by profession, I'm a regional planner,
Mm-hmm.
and I diversified into management and then IT and all. So it is but anyway, it gave a different flavor to my profession, to my career. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, I feel if I had the right mentor at that time who could guide me, that okay, if you do XYZ things, you'll reach faster. Or maybe I would
Very
say
true.
15 years back, I would have been an entrepreneur, not now.
Very true.
So
Very true.
definitely the resources are available, and this coaching industry, mentorship industry
Mm-hmm.
has been, it is a multi-billion dollar
It's
industry.
exploding. Very
It
true.
is exploding because there is no point of reinventing the wheel.
Hmm.
You have a mentor who will give you the solution. So rather than going, finding it out, learning from yourself, by your experience failing, might as well ask an expert.
Mm-hmm.
It's a time of
Right.
specialization. So
Right.
I would say mentorship is very important. I have mentors. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, mentors, one mentor is not enough. So for different functions, I have mentors. Uh,
Got it.
Also, I'm a mentor for uh, for some folks. So in fact,
Mm-hmm.
even on LinkedIn, I believe, as I said in the beginning, I believe in giving. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
little knowledge I have, I share it with the
Right.
people who ask for it,
Superb.
provided the people
Superb.
are ready to take it.
Yeah, yeah, very true, very true. I think it again comes back to the give and take thing, right? Where you're able to give and provide your insights, maybe even through this interview, right? And probably, seek mentorship as well, so that you can accelerate your journey as an entrepreneur, right? So Shiva, we have few questions from YouTube, right? So I'll be reading one of those questions to you, and probably you can take it up.
Sure.
Um, as an aspiring entrepreneur, as aspiring entrepreneurs, should we focus on honing one skill and getting really strong at it, or diversify to touch upon multiple skills across various domains? So basically, I think what the person is trying to ask brings this thought to my mind. Should we you know uh, should we you know um, should we just have one skill, and should we work on it, or should we have various other skills, right, in various other domains? So what should it be done as per an entrepreneur?
Um, See, what I feel, you have to be a subject matter expert.
Hmm.
Okay. So, whatever you're doing, you have to be a master in that area, but you cannot be ignorant about the other areas. Otherwise,
Hmm.
people will take you for granted because you need to have knowledge, and knowledge is available.
Hmm.
So, you need to know about it, but you don't need to be a master. Don't be a jack of all, be an expert in what you're doing.
Hmm.
I hope I
Right.
answered the question.
Yeah, I think being a subject matter expert, right, and still not keeping a blind eye to what's happening, and being dynamic and accepting what's happening, and trying to upgrade it, right? I think that's the real game changer, right?
Yes, absolutely. That is a game changer. Also, you'll be stuck in one field. So we have
Hmm.
to evolve every day as a person, as a professional, we have to keep evolving. So
100%.
learning is a continuous process.
Got it. Got it. I don't want to keep everybody, sort of glued in on a Monday evening, right?
I
So I have a last question for you, Shiba, and then probably we can wrap this interview up, right? So, any parting advice to any of these entrepreneurs that are watching this interview live on YouTube today, that just a few set of advices that you would want to share with them?
I would say network with people, connect with people. You cannot be an entrepreneur if you're an introvert. Maybe temperamentally we can be an introvert, but
Hmm.
professionally we can't. So,
Hmm.
network with people. It is a time of collaboration. So, collaborate with the right people, like minded people who
Hmm.
complement you rather than compete with you. So,
Hmm.
collaborate with them. And finally, don't
Just
give up too early.
got it. Got it. Thank you so much, Sheebaa, for
Thank
joining us
you for
today,
having
and
me.
thank you for all the participants, who've taken out time and sort of are watching this interview live on YouTube, right? Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. I
Thank you.
hope you guys got a lot of insights from Sheebaa today and from her journey as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, you all can connect me on internet, on LinkedIn, and
Sure.
I'll be
Sure. I
more
think
than happy to help you.
So I think if anybody is interested in connecting with you, our team will definitely help them get in touch with you, right? We have all the links to your social media handles, right? So perfect, Shiba. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, once again. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you, Siddharth. Bye. Bye, everybody.